positions. Be ready.
Hey there, Postal here. So today we're taking out the Yak-9U. Last week we took out the Yak-9, Tier 6 Soviet multi-role fighter. Now we're doing it one better. We are taking out the Yak-9U. This is Tier 7. And you would think, going in a Yak-9 to a Yak-9U, that there'd be some crossover. In playstyle there is, in equipment, more rather in researching engines and things of that nature. There definitely is not. I think that's more of a an English or American issue with how planes are named. Soviets definitely did not name their planes in the same way, same mannerisms that the United States did. So this is actually quite a different plane as far as the physical plane and its usage is concerned than the Yak-9. Alright, so enough background to that. It is in the game very similar. You've got this big old frickin' stupid cannon on the front that is going to completely wreck people's lives. Unlike the Tier 6, you've got two 20mm cannons to go along with your 45mm cannon. On top of that, this 45mm cannon actually goes a little bit further and hits a little bit harder, which, you know, is nice. Gotta get used to that firing timing. Just gonna fire my 20s for right now. They overheated as well, so there we go. Go ahead and head back to the center. I suspect, I haven't looked it up, but I suspect that this hub cannon was intended for taking out things like tanks and or very heavy ground armament. But it certainly does its job versus air targets in this game, that's for sure. There's a lot of crits. Now you see I'm just firing my 20s there just to get that knocked out. Nope, a little bit too far behind. We're a little too close. I don't like to have my sniper mode on. Too close in this plane. There we go. Some decent chunks out of that guy. Excellent. Getting nothing but assists here, but that's such is life sometimes. Got a light fighter inbound, actually. We need to be a little bit more worried about this guy than being. Definitely need to be getting down to a lower altitude. There we go. Excellent. Some friendlies on him. I guess we're just going to hang out at the center for right now because nobody's really letting us leave. Proper lead. Come on, 20s even froze up there. So our friendly GA is asking for some help. Let's see if I can't get over there and help him. If I should duck. DB10, but he's up too high for me because it is a Yak-9U. You are going to still have very low altitude performance. No matter what, because you're still in a Yak, right? There we go. There we go. Come on. Nope. Let these guns cool off for a second. Aim a little bit further out. You think when in doubt, aim further out. A 30mm cannon is a mantra. It's definitely the mantra of a 45. This guy's toast though. There we go. Maybe 10. If I can get him. Probably not. It looks like I'm gonna have to go for this guy actually. He's going a little bit too slow for his own good. There we go.
Command centers are under our control. Communication with the headquarters established.
Excelente. I think our GA died. Sure looks like it, because he's not over here. Get some speed back. Let's head up. Excuse me. He won't even know that we're here till it's too late. Except I'm at a frickin' at a boost, at a speed. Didn't get the kill, but definitely got a lot of damage done to him. Let's head back down. This game's a lot higher altitude than usually having to deal with in the Yak-9U, but c'est la vie. Down and around, knocked out his engine. As you do in this plane, you knock out all kinds of shenanigans. There we go. And I'm doing a lot of tappity tap tap tap. You might not be able to tell from the game, but I'm not just holding down the trigger. I am tapping, letting the guns try to cool off every once in a while, and tapping some more. We're gonna lose our command center, but I think that's gonna be okay. We did lose our command center. Nothing else is really over here, so I can kind of stay on sniper mode. Over, come on. Boom. There we go. Back to the Dora. Do I want to maybe go for the command center? Probably not. Let's ABC, right? Always be capping. Let's go ahead and shoot. That guy's turning back in. Dang it. I think he was going to. There's a big old cluster of planes here, unfortunately. And super aggressive ones at that. Putting my pneumatic control assist on. Shoot, a boot. Dang it, dead. Hoping I could get another 45mm shot off before the end of the game there, but just couldn't get it taken care of. Had ourselves a pretty good game though. I think we're definitely gonna win this, so that's a good thing. We'll take it. Good support from our GA, of course. We were able to just always keep attacking and keep pushing. Good God, that guy's got a lot of freaking marks on the side of his plane. That's a lot of stars and bombs, huh? Dang, I got really super distracted by that. Got ourselves a Lambert, got a Winged Legend. Let's head on back. Alright, so we got 13 kills, 17 crits. You know, sounds about right for this plane. 440 capture points, 3 sectors captured. Nothing too over the top crazy, to be honest. And god dang it if I can't get over the fact that I keep forgetting to do that. Alright, so between me and Ground Pounder, capturing those sectors and also doing some work on holding on to those sectors. I'm not quite sure what the ME410 was up to, but I do know that the VB10 was, I think it was defending that one command center more than he really should have been. Yeah, the VB10's great at taking out bombers, but at the end of the day, you need to be capping. So yeah, but anyway, we were able to kind of counter them pretty well. All things considered. Granted, we're in a Tier 7 battle, and a Tier 8 battle, a Yak-9U can certainly have its struggles. As you saw, airspeed was, you know, minimal at best. These engines don't really do you much good. And, you know, it's a Yak, so it's still a very low altitude, so you need to keep that all in mind. It can definitely be a cumbersome plane to play at Tier 8. It can still have a huge impact, no pun intended. This 45mm cannon, DGAF, when it comes to whatever plane you're shooting at, it will take out chunks as long as you're hitting. And so, the key to the plane is to get this particular gun. You want it to be, having as much accuracy as possible. The firing range is 3,400 feet, which is going to be what, 1,000 meters basically, a little bit more than that. I've taken the steps as far as the equipment is concerned to put a sight on here, because you want to put a sight on here. And my pilot is just a 2-point pilot, but I put Marksman 1 on here. Next, I'm going straight for Marksman 2. My next 3 points is going to be Marksman 2. And then we'll see how it goes from there. I'm getting pretty close to specialization on this thing. Just 10,000 more personal points for destroying enemy aircraft. It shouldn't take too much longer. We'll see how that goes. I've gone all in on maneuverability, and the reason being is because no matter what you do in a stock Yak-9U, no matter what you do, you're not going to be very speedy. And what I mean by a stock plane in this instance is a non-specialized plane. So I've gone with the airframe, I've gone with lightweight wing frame to help the maneuverability even a little bit more. And pneumatic control assist, when I really need to get myself out of trouble or get myself into trouble, I can do pneumatic control assist. And then you've got that additional turn time for additional maneuverability, for 10 seconds. This plane doesn't seem to catch on fire all that often. Then again, it could just be my playstyle of avoiding getting hit in the first place. So I've got first aid dressing on here. Keep in mind, even with this plane not catching on fire all that often, I know that it is a Yak, so it does have a tendency just in general to catch on fire. So my 6th point for this pilot is definitely going to be the firefighter skill, and I recommend that for any of the Yaks or Zeros. And then finally universal ammo, just because increased chance of causing fire and inflicting critical damage, and it only costs credits, it doesn't cost gold. You don't need any of this shenanigans. So yeah. Alright, so that's how I've got this particular plane set up. I really enjoy the Yak-9U. It's much like the Yak-9 for me. Yeah, the cannon, the hub cannon, can be difficult. If you're not syncing up with it, then it's just going to be a pain in the ass. But there's so many planes in this game that use cannons like this. Besides the Yak-9, of course, and the Yak-7. There's TU-1, the ME-209A, the TA-152 basically uses this kind of play style because it's all cannons. The Horton 229. The list goes on and on. I know I'm missing a bunch, but my point is, though, if you can make the Yak-9U work, there's a lot of planes in this game that have a similar gun style, not play style, but similar gun style, and you can certainly make those work as well. On top of that, this plane is hilarious when you take a plane and you either one-shot it or take off 2/3 of its health. Firing like 6 shots at it and you're like, it's not working, and then you're like, oh, never mind, it's working. To me, I find that hilarious. I laugh, and I laugh, and I laugh some more. You've all been freaking knocked out by a bot Yak-9U. You're like, what? Where the heck? I didn't even know there was one near me. You can be that Yak-9U. You can change lives and determine the outcome of a game just by, syncing up with your gun. And it's a lot of fun. This is the last plane that's a lot of fun, like just plain fun on this line. After this plane, we get to the infamous SU-9, which I do have to buy back because some friggin' sadist requested that I play this one as well. The I-211 took me a long time to get used to. It's got cannons as well, just huge cannons. And it took me a long time to get used to these. It's got 3 37mm cannons. very hard hitting. They're all centrally located, thank goodness. But the overall plane itself, the overall play style, just wasn't quite my cup of tea. I did finally get used to it towards the end, and I actually kept this plane of all weird things, kept the pilot and everything. And this plane is, although I don't think it's a good plane, it can be a fun plane in the same manner that a Yak-9U can be a fun plane. You can snipe. You can with these three. When these three friggin' shots hit, like you're gonna take out chunks of damage very, very quickly. It's just, you know, are you accurate with it? And last but not least, in my opinion, is a meme plane, the I-215. You have two 57mm cannons on here. Yeah, just look at that. Now, can you dictate battles? Not really. Can you win games? It's arguable. But can you have a lot of fun with these friggin' guns? Hell yeah, you can. Effective firing range is basically 1,500 meters, I think. It's 3,700 feet. Wait, 1,500 meters? No, never mind. It's not that long. 1,200 meters, whatever. You're only doing 580 damage per second, but it's stupid when you hit. I mean, I've taken out XF90s and things of that nature just because you get synced up with the guns and ka-chunk, ka-chunk, and you're like, oh, well, they're dead. And so with this plane, the I-211 as well, I go into battle just hoping to have some fun. My goal is to have fun. My goal isn't necessarily to win. That's why I don't necessarily play them all that often either. Because you kind of have to be having a good day to play this plane or the I-211, because if you're having a bad day, they will not make the day any better. Like I said, they can be a lot of fun, but they can be hella frustrating. So the Yak-9U. The Yak-9U is the last of the really turny fighters on this line. But this can be a lot of fun. You just got to get synced up, mentally synced up with this gun. The more you play it, more consistently, like go out and play it half a dozen times in a row. Play it 10 times in a row if you've got the time. And as the plane syncs up with you, you're going to enjoy the plane more. The more you play it in a row, the more you're going to enjoy it as a plane. If you're still struggling with it, go out there with a heavy fighter flight. You know, have somebody in their F7F or BF109Z, something like that, and you take out your Yak-9U, and you guys can kind of tag team the world. Yeah, the Yak-9U is a lot of fun. I definitely encourage people to play it, especially up to this point on the line. Everybody can have fun up to tier 7 on this line, that's for sure. Anyway, do you agree with my assessment? Do you play this plane in the same manner as I do? Do you have the same basic setup on your Yak-9U? Did you enjoy it the first time you went down it, or was it something that you were like, nah, not for me? I'd love to hear your opinion down below. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day. Bye.